Hey, welcome. I'm trying to keep this short, but our new unit is using variables. We're going to grow from one-step equations to two-step equations. We're going to use function tables and then graphing. And so this is a huge unit. And I know some of you, I already know, are going to look at this particular lesson and say, I can do it in my head. But please know, I'm going to sound like a broken record saying, but you have to show the steps because it matters. We're building a habit, and if you don't get the simple habit figured out, then you won't be able to show the steps in a two-step equation. And so please know, even though you can do it in your head and I can do it in my head, but you have to have the habit of how to show the work, and your 7th through 12th grade teachers are all going to expect every time you do algebra, you show this beginning step. And so, yeah, I tried to keep it short. And as you can see, I blocked off some of the definitions because you didn't need them. It was just an equation's equal on both sides. I'm like, I think they got that. We don't need to take time writing it. So I did block that off. Okay, student will be able to solve addition and subtraction equations with a variable. How do I solve addition and subtraction equations? That's your essential question, and you have to show the steps, even though you can do it in your head. All right, first slide. I personally don't care if you write this. You do not have to write this part. But just so you know that whatever you do to the left, you have to do to the right to keep them equal. So here's the part where you're going to say, boom, I can do it in my head. It's a 6. Yeah, so can I. But you have to show the steps. I can't say that strongly enough. So you say, what's happening to the x? Right now it has a 5 being added to it. And if you want to undo it to get x alone, it might look easy now, but you have to show the work because we're building toward two-step equations. So you'd say, I want to undo it. The way to undo it is subtract the 5. But now 5, take away 5 is 0. So now we do have x alone. Oops. So then if you subtract 5 on the left, you have to subtract 5 on the right. Now we made it equal on both sides. X equals 6. Guys, even on a quiz, even if you say x is 6, but you don't show the steps, you will get it wrong. We're working on pre-algebra, and when we get other things happening in that equation, you have to show the beginning steps. Okay, next one. What's happening to the x? It has 7 being added to it. To undo it, to get the x alone, take away 7, take away 7, x equals 4. Even if you could do it, you still have to show it, even if you could do it in your head. Next one, I want to undo what's happening to the x. Right now it has something added to it. I take away 19, cross that out to show that I got x alone. If I subtract 19 from the left, I have to subtract 19 from the right to keep my equation balanced. Kind of like in science when you have those scales and you put the little weight on one side or take off the weight from one side. And you have to do the same thing on the other side to keep the scale balanced. Hey, 41 take away 19 should be 20, right? No, oh my goodness. I was rounding up in my head. Oh, help me out, guys. I'm quick charging. 41 take away 19. 22, there we go, 22. All right. I think we're gonna skip this one for the sake of time. So then same thing. You don't have to write this down, you just have to know whatever I add on one side, I have to add the same thing on the other side. I'm okay if you skip that long definition as long as you can justify why we have to do the same thing to both sides. So You're saying to yourself, I want to get m alone. Right now it's being subtracted from 20, so I want to undo it by adding 20. A negative 20 plus 20 is now 0. But if I add 20 on the left, whoops, then you have to add 20 on the right. 5 plus 20 is, whoops, sorry about that, 25. Okay. I know you can do it in your head. You have to show the steps. Can't say that strongly enough. All right, this one. What's happening to that x? It has something being subtracted from it. You want to undo that and say, oh, if 15 was being subtracted, or x was being subtracted from 15, you want to add 15. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. Now I have x alone. If I add 15 on the left, I have to add 15 on the right, and that should be 70. Next one. What's happening to the m? It has a 20 being subtracted from it. You want to undo it to get m alone. If I subtract 20 on the left, I want to add 20 to undo it. Now negative 20 plus 20 is 0, so now we have m alone. But if I add 20 on the left, I have to add 20 on the right, we have 70. Okay, I'm going to skip a couple slides here. I think we get this one, guys. We're going to skip it. It's super important to be able to write an equation from a word problem. This is a 6th grade standard. So hear it. The highest recorded temperature is 118 degrees. So hear that as one side of the equal sign. Then I want you to train yourself to hear train yourself to hear that as the equal sign. This is 158 degrees greater. Hear the greater as your plus. Then the lowest recorded temperature. What is the lowest recorded temperature? So because this is what we're looking for, that becomes our variable. I think I forgot to do that at the beginning. Sorry. Variables are the letters that represent some unknown number. I should write that down. And so whatever we're looking for is 158 degrees greater. Greater is the plus. Then the lowest recorded temperature. Well, guys, this is going to be something we haven't tried before, but subtract 158. You want to get x alone. Subtract those. Then take away 158. And look at that. We're going to get a negative. So 118 take away 158. Wow, in that particular place, the lowest recorded temperature was 40 below 0. Okay, I think we have one left, guys. Shoes cost $25. And then here this is your equal sign. This is $14 less than the jeans. How much are the jeans? So we're looking for the jeans. And the shoes are 14 less than the jeans. So here that is your subtraction sign. And then we're just going to undo it. We want to get x alone, add 14, add 14. And so the jeans must be $39. Okay, I know there are people who will still say the same thing. You'll say, I could just add 25 and 14 in my head. Yes, remember the goal is learning how to set it up algebraically. That's the goal, how to work with a variable. A variable shouldn't be by itself on the equal sign or on one side of the equal sign at the beginning of the equation. Okay, hopefully you persevered. Hopefully you took great notes. And I'll check those notes in class. Great job, guys.